Hello YouTubers! I'm so excited to be back with another etching tutorial for the Curio too. And look at those straight lines. So we're going to etch today with a third-party tool, and we'll discuss all of the things. So grab a snack because I'm sure it will be a long video and we will get to crafting. As of the making of this video, to my knowledge, these are all the engraving etching tips that are available for Silhouette. We've done the Power Engraver. That's what this one is. And it struggles with these straight lines. It's really good if you want to do this filled in stuff. But like for these straight lines, it kind of just makes like a wiggly line because it moves like a Dremel tool to help clear out space like this. So that's kind of its drawback. I tried out, these are the Chomas tips. This is the Zoom one. And then this is the original stippling and etching tool. As of the making of this video, I can't get this one to work. It gets really close, but it does not touch the acrylic. So I don't know if this is a me problem, a tool problem. Maybe we'll revisit in the future if I can get it to work, but at the moment, this does not work for me. This is the stippling and etching tool. It's the original tool from Silhouette for the original Curio 1. I did a video with it etching on some metal, and I really liked it there. But here, in these straight lines, it just kind of gives a messy appearance. It just kind of gives a messy appearance. It's not by any means bad, but it's just kind of messier compared to some of the other options out here. So if you have this one, you can totally use it in Tool 1. It does not do a bad job, but it's just a little messy when it comes to like clean lines and stuff. These two up here are going to be my favorite. These are, so this one is the Chomas Precision tip, and then this one's just a regular tip. And if you look at my M's here, you can see how crisp those lines are. And like the star over here, I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, you can see how crisp those lines are. And so this is going to be my probably go-to one, at least for the moment, for any etching or engraving on the Curio 2 right now. All right, so this precision tip over here is going to be much better with straight lines. Straight lines. It's going to do a lot better at it. And then this one is going to do a lot better with the filled in designs. Now, there'll be crossover. But honestly, either one can work. But depending on what you plan on doing more, you might want one versus the other. But they're great. I think they're about $25 and they're available on Amazon at the moment. So that's what we're going to use today in some just clear acrylic. I did want to mention something. These are third-party tools, which means they are not tested, endorsed, or have any affiliation to Silhouette. Like I don't. Silhouette doesn't know who I am. So use them or don't. That is up to you. Make an educated decision on what is best for you, your machine, and what you want to do, like I have for my machine. What I'm not going to deal with is I'm not going to debate you in the comments about warranties or wear and tear or anything like that. I'm not going to debate you in the comments, and I'm not going to deal with condescending comments. They're just going to get removed and blocked. So, your machine, do with it as you think is fit. Also, if you've seen an etching video of mine before, this is going to be some repeat information. Template setting up and things like that. The reason being is that I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase. If you've never seen an etching video before, I don't want to send you looking at 15 different places to get information. So we're going to do from start to finish. So just skip ahead as needed in the video for whatever information you're looking for. So like I said, we'll be using the Chomas Precision Etching tool. It's a little loose in the machine, so I took one layer of masking tape or washi tape and put it around right underneath where the little lip is, where it sits in the machine. So precision etching tool or just the regular etching tool, either one will work. And then these are just 3-inch clear acrylics from good old Amazon. And then I am using Silhouette Chipboard for my template. There's several materials you can use for templates. If you have a tried and true method, by all means use it. But whatever template material you want to use, but we will be using the chipboard. We'll be using the debris tray from Silhouette with a mat and lots of washi tape because that's how this thing works. And then you're probably going to want either a paintbrush or have the little vacuum too to help sweep away dirt and kind of clear out all of the dust and debris that comes from etching the acrylics. I will leave a full list of supplies down in the description below with links. Right now what I'm going to do is cut and paste in where we made the template from the original video I did when we etched using this guy. So you can skip ahead if you've already seen it. I'm still using the template we made in that video for this video, so we'll just put it in here and then slide to the front if you don't need to see it again. Alright, so this is what a naked debris tray looks like. You've got a couple sets of marks. You have this one, which is where your grid lines up. You have them all over. And then you've got these outer marks, which are where your mat lines up. But I would not use this without taping it in some way first. So what I've been doing is, first up, I put some double sticky tape in the center. This step, honestly, may be overkill, but my concern is that with just taping the outside down, that this is going to shift in here and move, and if it does, your blank in your project is done. You're not going to be able to fix it. So that is why I do that first, and then come in here and line up my square, my grid with the indicators here. So that way it prevents the mat from squinching in the middle. That, I would say, is a optional step, but it's just good insurance because acrylic blanks aren't the cheapest. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the outside of my mat down to the tray. I have been using Silhouette's chipboard for like ever. It's basically glorified cardboard. So if you have like boxes of any kind, you can use that as well too. Boxes, cereal boxes, not corrugated cardboard with the multiple sides, but just anything kind of thick paper-ish. Now, this is a sort of sticky mat. It's lost most of its sticky. If you put this on a brand new sticky mat, this is never coming off. So use it on a sort of sticky but not entirely sticky kind of mat. And I'm going to put this on the mat, and then I'm going to tape this down as well. So make sure you got lots of tape as well. Alright, so we are all taped down. You're going to make sure this is all the way in and flat. Sometimes it wants to ride up a little bit. And then you've got these little guys on either side that's going to lock this tray in. You definitely need that. I'm going to put my auto blade in carriage 1 over here. Make sure it is in. And then I'm just reusing the piece of chipboard I did before. I just moved it, and the hole I was using up here is now down here. And then the circle that I cut out, I just taped it back in place. So we will cut a new one in the software. Alright, so we're in Silhouette Studio. And this is just the Cameo mat. I'm going to show you how to go get the Curio mat set up. You will need to have upgraded to 4.5.735 in order for your software to even know that a Curio to exist. You can go to Help and About, and that will tell you the version of Silhouette Studio that you are currently running. You'll have to go download the newest version, but it has to be this or higher for your machine, your software to even know a Curio exists. So we're going to go over here to Page Setup and come down here to Curio 2. And it gets you the whole big machine. And then mine already has the debris tray put in here. So here it says tray, or you can do the ES mat, which is just going to be no tray. And we're going to go debris tray. And then you can do no mat, or you can do the 12x12 Cameo mat. Do understand, because there's no grid and you're kind of lining it up off of marks here, there's probably going to be a slight discrepancy between this mat and the mat that's in your machine. So also, this is the transparency. People ask me about that one. So if you want to see the grid, if you don't, there you go. So we're going to come over here and draw out a circle. You can hold the shift key, and that's what makes it like a perfect circle. The acrylic blanks that I have are 3 inches. So we're going to come over here to the transform panel and over to the scale tool and just type in 3. And this is going to make it 3 inches all the way around. Now what I'm going to tell you to do is to put your circle and line it up with a number. It's probably not going to be perfect, but the reason why is so you have a little circle in your acrylic, you can line it up with that to make sure your acrylic is lined up. Because if not, you're just kind of having to wing it and hope. So we're going to do that. We're going to come over here to send. I have carriage 2 selected right now because I've been etching, and that is why mine is default blue. So we're going to come over here to no power engraver. Close that one. Come up to carriage 1, where we're going to say chipboard. And it knows that my auto blade is in here, and we're going to hit cut. I've just been using the default settings here with 2 passes, speed of 1. When I hit send, the second carriage will come down, auto detect our thickness, and then it will cut for us. It sounds quite musical when it does it too. See, it's quite musical. I don't know why that struck me as so funny, but it takes it a minute and you can pop it right out. See, it only takes me a while because y'all are watching. If I was just here by myself. There we go. Also, this is my Sawgrass sublimation printer back here. The blue light and all of this, it has nothing to do with this machine. It's just I don't have that much room, and so I don't want anybody to get confused about why you didn't have a blue light on your machine. It's because it has nothing to do with your curio. I'm impressed. It did pretty good getting our line down the middle of our circle here with our grid. I would recommend keeping your circle. You can use it to help prevent your mat from collecting debris and getting unsticky. Also, I don't know if I said this before, we have a lot of tape on this plastic debris tray. I wouldn't recommend it staying on here for weeks or months on end. Tape has a way of like adhering itself to things if they're left on for a long time. So I wouldn't recommend leaving it on for a really long time. All right, so we're in Silhouette Studio. This is my template little file here where my circle sits that we can use again and again and again. This is all the stuff off to the side that I have etched and drawn in here. This is the version of software that we're currently using. It will change. It might change in the future if they update and bring out new features and whatnot, but this is the current version that we are using. Over here in page setup, we've got a Curio 2. This is the debris tray, and then I've got my mat turned on as well for extra placement. And then what we are going to do today is we're going to etch this. We're going to make it and then etch it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to etch the negative here and leave my monogram here empty. So you're first going to draw a circle, and you can do this with any font, but we are going to use one of mine. The original one is the Witch font over on my web page, and then this one we're going to use the Hibiscus font, this one. If you click on it and then you click the G, it'll show you every available character in the font. I've got this turned up to large here. So then we're just gonna click and put in my my letters. Let me click him and turn off the color here. Click over here. And then this font has extra characters built in for extra little designs and such. So I'm gonna click some of those in, and then we are gonna fidget with them, and I'll be back. All right, so that's what I've come up with. So like I said, I just put my letters inside my circle here, and then little shapes that we want to add as well. So I'm gonna select everything, and then I'm gonna we're gonna unselect, hold the shift key, and unselect my circle here. I'm going to weld this together, and then we'll group everything so that it is one shape here. Then I'm going to select both of them, and we're going to center our design inside of my circle. And then we're going to make sure we like everything. Then we are going to select both of them and click Make Compound Path. And what that does is it gives me one shape here. All right, so we're gonna come up here to the Specialty Tool panel. We want the first one, which is Deboss, and then you can fill in your different pattern fills here. Now remember, the closer they are together, the longer it is gonna take for it to etch. Now I'm a little concerned about this flamingo here because it's just so skinny, it may not stand out against the pattern. You can move these guys together. The hatch pattern is normally the one I always end up defaulting to. I don't know why, it's just the one I always end up defaulting to. But this is gonna be the most time consuming pattern, so keep that in mind. You might try this one. So you can move the spacing to get them closer together, and then you can change the angle as well. So see now, if you look really, really closely, it's put all these little lines in here at an angle for us. So, and then when it turns like that, that's as close together as they can get. So, and see, you can't even really see the lines are that close together. And then I've got them at an angle too. So I'm thinking we may give that one a shot. Hopefully we're not here all night with this machine, and this guy is from the one I showed you at the very opening of the video here. And see, that's a hatch fill on an angle. And you see how it looks here. And then this is another one that was on the tester, which is the hatch fill just vertical. But you can see how wide they are compared to this. I honestly have no idea what this is going to look like or how long it's going to take us. I'm hoping with it just being the straight lines and not that whole hatch, we won't be here all night. But we will see. All right, so let's go change its color because our circle up here is blue. Now remember to go to line color because these are technically lines and not a fill pattern here. Let's do pink since we've got a flamingo here. Now a couple of things to keep in mind. This has got a million different lines in it. Your computer more than likely is not going to want to move it all around, so it might bog down with all of these in here depending on your computer and what all its setups are. Now we're going to shrink them down a bit and put it inside our circle. You can use the guide marks here to line things up. Remember, you have a hole in the top of your acrylic blank here, so you do want to keep that in mind. You can also use a transform panel to help line things up too if you want to. We can select both of them and like move center. Just don't move your circle here. So I'm just gonna, you can select them and then I'm gonna hit the arrows and scooch them down just a little bit to make sure we leave room for that hole up top. Okay, so this, I think is probably from the foil quill videos. I just use it here to kind of be like my cover sheet to keep my mat from losing too much stickiness because all of this is kind of covered in like a dust now. But this is our blank here. And make sure to take off the protective coating. The machine does not like it when you don't do that. As always with probably anything for the Curio, please make sure you have extras. Because the minute you don't, guess what? So, and then this does work. We have it lined up on the mat and in the computer where the hole goes through the center of my line up here on my mat. So it It's pretty handy to have to make sure everything stays level. Yeah. And then you're going to want to use washi tape to tape down your circle. A little extra insurance from the wiggles to make sure that it doesn't go moving. I like to have at least 4 down, but you are more than welcome to use more. And then we're going to take our precision tip and put it in our first housing over here. Now, one thing with this real quick, they are significantly heavier than the plastic tools that this machine is designed for, so don't let it stay in there. So if you're going to store the machine for long periods of time or anything, don't leave this in here for a really long time because it is significantly heavier than the plastic tools that Silhouette makes. All right, we're going to go over to the send panel. We are going to use cardstock, plain. We are going to sketch of all of our things here, sketch, and use a pen here. And then you can select it and turn on, off, whatever you need to. And obviously our outside circle here, we're not gonna have on, just our inside etching here. With the precision tip, I'm gonna say a force between 5 and 10. This will, the more you passes and the more force will make a darker etch over time. But when you're first starting out, I would say a force of 5 to 10 with that one. And then since we have a lot of lines, I'm going to say a speed of 2. Less lines, you could probably do a higher speed. More lines, I'm going to say a speed of 2. And we're going to do a force of 8. I would say a force between 5 and 10 for the precision tip to poke you in. The regular Chomas engraving tip, I would say a force between 10 and 15 because it's not as pokey. It's not going to be as, it's not going to leave as deep of a mark. Now remember, you can do multiple passes as long as you don't remove the blank here. You can do multiple passes, so it's easy. So I would recommend doing a lighter first pass and then a second pass if needed, rather than trying to do everything in one pass. Also, another friendly reminder, more lines, this is going to take longer, so budget time accordingly. So we're going to hit the send panel. It's going to give us all of that. We're going to hit send. Now, before I do that, what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of paper on top of our blank over here so that we can assure that the depth, automatic depth detection is accurate. And then it's going to go. All right, this is my piece of paper. I'm just going to put it on top of my thing here. I'm going to hit my send. We're going to do a little dance. And then I'm going to remove it. It's saying an hour. Also with the precision tip, see, it makes less dust. It picks up more actual pieces here. So you can randomly hit pause and then brush out any dust as it's etching. This isn't as important because we picked the straight lines, but like for the hatch fill, you do need to pause and push out dust because the dust can get in the way of the etching. All right, it's all done. It took, I say, roughly 50 minutes-ish. So, brush off some dirt and hope that it turned out. And then I'm just gonna put this guy back here as my cover. All right, so we're gonna spray some water on it real quick and get off any extra dust. This is a coffee filter. I have learned that they don't leave like little lint behind like paper towels do. Get rid of any extra dust, and I have no idea how this is gonna look. I'm kind of nervous. All right, big reveal. Wow. Check that out. Let's see, hold on. Check that out. It's still got some dust on it, but that is most impressive. I'm not gonna lie. It did get a little bit off somewhere along the way, so we've got a little bit of like a shadow line here. So yeah, it did do that. It probably went back over some dust that had already been there, and got off track a little bit. But realistically, unless somebody is, I don't know, 4 inches from your face here, you're never gonna know. Let me go wash this off a little bit and see if we can get a clearer picture here. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. See the top of the J there? See how there's a little bit of a line? But realistically, nobody's gonna know unless they're 2 inches from you. See when we're further away. You can tell. And this is really tough. I mean, all the little details on the flamingo and stuff. So, and this is not happening with that power engraver. This would virtually be impossible to do this type of design, to do any of this with the power engraver. So I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll get to do some more videos with this. Let me know in the comments down below if you have questions, other things you would like to see about the Curio. There's several videos up from the Curio, how to make the grid, foil quill, how to draw with the sketch tool. So we've been making a couple of them, but I know the etching was what everybody was really excited for. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Please subscribe. We'll hopefully have some more tutorials up soon. And thank you so much for watching.